Tanner, I can't read the script you wrote.
Shh, Derek, it's not scripted. Hey guys, welcome to the Two Guys No Script podcast. How's it going, Derek?
Pretty good.
How's your day?
Oh, pretty good. The operator at work kind of pissed me off.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, we're already talking like that. We should probably introduce ourselves. My name is Tanner, and across from me is Derek. I work with Derek every day, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
Probably spent over half our days together since we were in first grade.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Remember when I first saw you, Sam Otto introduced me to the new kid. You were wearing windbreaker pants and some DC skater shoes. You were really styling back then.
Did I have a blue mohawk at that time?
No,
No, not
that
yet.
that was before I met you.
Was there blonde hair at all in that realm?
I don't think so. You had a close-shaved head is all I remember.
That's pretty typical for me up until like the last couple years.
Yeah.
Man, friends with Derek. Now Derek remembers our friendship way back in the day, and I will be honest, I don't remember the first grade interactions, but he does, and that's important.
Well, I was probably dressed like a normal kid.
Well, if I had to guess, it was probably a full Carhartt suit and that bowl cut kind of thing you had going.
The Bieber flow, we called it.
The Bieber flow, yeah. And you were probably twice my size. Well, maybe not. I mean, we've been both kind of chunky our whole lives. Well, what about our friendship? How has it lasted so long?
I don't know. We're like an old married couple. We bicker a lot.
So I did the math the other day, and when we started this adventure, I'm like, I wonder how long we've been friends. And it's roughly 18 years. It's got to be encroaching on 18 years. I don't exactly know how old we were in first grade because we were both, I think, older than our class.
Yeah, I would have been 5 for my entire first grade year. So
I mean, you're a month older than me, so I mean, it's got to be we're coming up on like 17, 18 years. So it's a long time we've been friends. And it's been nothing short of a hell of a journey. That is for sure. This man is a very interesting man. What are we doing here, Derek?
Well, we're trying to make our first podcast, see if we can embarrass ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
Give people something to listen to.
So I came up with, well, I can't take all the credit, but I think we have discussed this before when we've talked to each other. We're like, we should have a podcast. But as we dig deeper and you guys learn more about us, you'll understand why it never came to fruition. But my girlfriend just the other day was like we were playing a game for couples, and it was like, what would you be most known for, or most famous for? Like, what would you be known for? And she's like, I think you'd be known for a podcast. And I'm like, really? Why do you say that? She's like, you and Derek should start a podcast. And I think she no more and said that, and I texted you, and you're like, sure. Of course, Derek's common response, sure.
Never decisive.
And then I, had to use a little chat GPT and figure out a name and make our logo. And here we are. And this is less than 5 days ago, maybe?
Well, I think you texted me Saturday night, and it is Wednesday, so.
Yeah, and so we got our little studio set up. We got cheap mics. We got computers that aren't great. So bear with us if there's anything that isn't great about this setup as we continue to go. If we get some people that like our podcast, we'll upgrade our stuff. But I hope you guys are ready for this journey, because not only do we have a lot to share about our friendship, we have a lot we can talk about just from our day-to-day experiences and so much more. And eventually we bring on some guests. So, Derek, let's talk a little bit more about our friendship. We'll talk about the podcast at the end. Let's talk about our friendship. We need to figure this out.
Well, I remember, obviously, the first time I met you. Then there's a few years that I don't really remember a whole lot happening. But then when we were probably 12, 13, would you say? almost every day in the summer, I would ride 2 miles into town on my bicycle and we'd go fishing. And we'd drive around town, we'd stop at the grocery store and buy as much junk food as we could fit in our backpacks.
So let's take a little moment for this. So I grew up in a house where junk food of plenty. So I was used to it. And I mean, there's no reason I'm chunky. I mean, or there's no reason I'm not. Like there is junk food in my life. Derek was the kid, and he's always a bigger kid. I'm not poking at him, but he's always been a bigger kid. But his house was healthy-ish food, like good family meals.
Didn't get to drink Mountain Dew.
Yeah, and so this kid, he'd come to town, and we'd hit up the local gas station. And I mean, it was box of Nutty Bars, box of Cosmic Brownies was our typical, like we'd each buy a box and share it. And sometimes pop. I mean, you'd get a half gallon of chocolate milk and drink it. And that was honestly the highlight of our lives. I wish we could go back to that.
Yeah.
Like every day, I wish we could just go back, relive the moments because that was the best. We didn't have any care in the world. We just go around fishing. And it was like a real treat when his dad would bring his boat into town for us to use that day. Like, hands down the best day ever.
And when I'd bring the boat into town, we would beach the boat at the culvert and walk uptown to go grocery shopping, leaving all of our fishing supplies, our boat, the motor, everything unattended, and it never got stolen or messed with or anything. We got lucky there.
Those were different times, though. I mean, we're not super old, but I mean, back then you didn't have to lock your door on your house.
Yeah.
You didn't have to lock your vehicle every time you left it unattended. I mean, it was different times. And we were young. I mean, we didn't care. I mean, we wanted to go get our snacks. And sometimes we'd catch fish. Sometimes we wouldn't catch anything.
I think a lot of times we swam more than we fished.
Yeah, the swimming was really fun. I'm glad that Derek was a good swimmer and I got to swim a lot because little does he know, when I first started hanging out with him, I couldn't swim at all. And I learned and figured it out, and I became a good swimmer for a while. But I mean, I wonder how many miles the bikes rode. I mean, we were constantly on them things.
Yeah. I remember there was a few days that I would ride into town and my parents wouldn't know that I rode into town. So I'd have to ride home before they got home from work, then tell them that I was going to go into town to go fishing with you and ride back in, each way being 2 miles. So
And
8 miles total.
And he was quick at it. I mean, this kid should have been skinny as a twig, but I mean, he wasn't. And our summers, that was the best time ever. And he was a different person back then. This kid has matured a lot. I mean, how I survived being his friend this long without dying, hating him, it's a miracle within itself. There's so many stories, and what do you highlight? Because there's just random moments throughout our lives that
many.
How do you pick one? What's the next big moment in our life? Snowmobiles?
Yeah, I suppose so. We met each other. Then we did riding bike into town, fishing every summer, almost every day. And then in the winters, we'd be able to ride snowmobile.
Wait, I want to hold you for 1 second. Because it just came to my mind. I don't ever remember calling you in the summer to go fishing. I remember I had your house number or something, your mom's number wrote down. But I don't ever remember having my mom call your mom. How did we figure that out?
I don't know. I think we'd plan tomorrow.
The next day or
tomorrow we'll meet up, or I'm busy tomorrow. Let's plan the next day.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a cell phone. Because I actually remember the one time leaving your house, and every so often my mom would send me with her cell phone.
Right, I remember that.
And so that day I had my mom's cell phone. I wasn't used to carrying one yet. So I go to Subway and I walk in, order my sub, I'm waiting in line, and someone's phone starts going off. I'm looking around. Whose phone's going off? This person's so stupid. Why aren't they answering their phone? Get all pissed off. Well, then I remembered, I have a cell phone today. So I reach into my pocket, pull it out. Yep, sure enough, the phone's going off. I was the idiot with the phone not being answered. But yeah, I don't know if I think we just planned it, 2 days from now, we'll ride back in town.
That's my. I just sorry I had to stop. I mean, but it just came to my mind, like, in all the time we talked about this, I don't ever remember how we figured that out.
And we'd always start at your house, so I don't know. Maybe I'd just knock on your door. I don't.
Yeah, it must.
I guess I
mean,
don't.
But there were some mornings we'd start at like when you get your boat, it would be like what 6:30 something,
Yeah.
7. Like it was.
And when I'd get my
early.
boat, I'd pick you up. So it must have been we had that planned.
Okay, yeah.
Because the boat was like a treat. That was every like 2 weeks.
The snowmobile is a good point, but let me tell you guys about this man's boat. So he had a John boat. How long was that thing?
12 foot.
All right, he had a motor on it, and this motor was the junkiest motor ever. And when we were younger, we called it getting balls because it would only run on what, half the cylinders?
Yeah, it was a 2-cylinder, 10 horse, and there might have been a 6 horse. I think it was a 6 horse. Then later I got a 10 horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would run on 1 cylinder.
And man, when that thing would run on 2 cylinders, we called it getting balls, and we'd be able to get across that dang lake as fast as we could. We were so excited because we'd be out putzing along all day. And like, why? Like, this is boring. Like, let's go quick. And then get balls, and we're just hauling across the lake.
We're probably lucky that it did run like crap because we would have definitely went through the wake zone way too fast because we always did that when we got balls.
Yeah.
We'd slow down, but we didn't want to lose the 2 cylinders, so we didn't want to let off too much. So.
Yeah, it was like that. Like the boat was a treat, and then getting balls with that motor was a treat within itself. That was something.
We'd have 3 to 4 guys in a 12-foot job boat.
It was even better when we'd be pulling. Like we'd sometimes take kayaks, or like we all kind of had kayaks, but Derek had the boat, and so some days we'd have your kayak and you'd hold on to the side because running on 1 cylinder, you could hold on to the side and you just putz along, And that thing, that one time, it got balls, and there was 2 friends hanging on the side. It was just about capsizing in their kayaks because Derek was not stopping, and they were going a lot faster than they intended. Yeah, that boat was something.
Yeah, you'd be driving it, and then all of a sudden you'd hear it like sputter a little bit, and you knew what was about to happen, and then it would just open up and take off.
Yeah, that was fun. I wish, like, out of anything in our friendship, I wish we could just take a week off of work and go and just relive one summer week like that. Because, I mean, them were the days. And then
I wouldn't want to ride bike that much.
Yeah, I don't even have a bike anymore. Yeah, and then so I'd say the next thing in our lives, which we kind of mentioned, is snowmobiling. And that was, I mean, what did we start riding snowmobile? 14? Something like that?
Yeah, probably.
Can't remember how.
There. I mean, 12 we could start legally riding, but I think the first couple of years that we were able to ride, we didn't get much snow.
Right.
So I think, I was probably around at 14 years old.
I know it had to be roughly 14 because I had a job at the farm.
Yeah.
And that's how I funded my gas expenditure on
and I would load the trap houses down at the gun club.
I mean, them snowmobiles were our freedom. Was it the 580 or the 570?
You had the 570.
I had the 580 also, but I blew that up.
You had the 580.
I think I started with the Arctic 580. Blew that thing up. Well,
you dropped the clutch off.
Both clutches sheared off and fell in the belly pan, and it was dead in the water. And cost too much to fix it. And I got that 570. That 570 is still around. Mm-hmm. It survived me. It survived Derek, and then it came back to me. Which, granted, I haven't rode it since it's been back. It got rode one time since I got it back from you, and it's been sitting. So I don't know what kind of shape it is. I think my cousin's gonna buy it from me. But you had the VMAX. Let's hear about the VMAX, Derek.
The Blue Bullet.
Blue Bullet.
Oh, what year was it? A 96 VMAX, I think it was. 600. It was my dad's snowmobile, which later on got hit by a car.
Okay. You mentioned this. What happened, Derek? What happened?
When I got hit by a car?
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't see the road. So the ditch was steep, and so you had to go up the hill to be able to see the road. So I pulled up the hill and stopped with the skis on the white line. Otherwise, you'd slide back down. And a car was coming, and I didn't think they saw me, so I was kind of like panicking and realized they were going to hit me. Well, I couldn't back up. The snowmobile didn't have reverse. So I began to bail off the snowmobile, and the car struck the front of the snowmobile. And I had both my legs on the other side of the snowmobile, so it took me out. I bounced off the side of the car, did my one and only somersault, and landed on my knees on the blacktop. And that was the end of the VMAX. It drove onto the trailer, though. The cops were there when I loaded on the trailer, and I pulled it up, parked it on the trailer, and said, "That's why I drive a Yamaha. It still runs."
So, a little foreshadowing for you folks as we get to learn Derek more. This is his first of many accidents. But I want to explain this from I wasn't with you when this happened. But we were younger, middle school when this happened.
No, high school, because I went to the basketball game afterwards. Yeah.
Well, he finally had Snapchat, which that was a miracle in itself. I mean, this guy cannot use technology. And all he puts on a Snap story, I can't remember the exact picture, but it was something of like the ditch, the snowbank, and it was thankful to be alive. And that's all he left it at. And then the kid wouldn't answer his phone. So we're all panicking, like, what just happened to Derek? Like, why is he thankful to be alive? Like, we're all thankful to be alive, but why is he doing this so much to post it on his story? Well, then, we find out he got hit by a car.
Yeah, I don't think because most people didn't realize it was a snowmobile down in the ditch because it was such a grainy picture. And it was.
So that was the end of the VMAX?
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite story was before the end of the VMAX. We're riding, and we were riding as kind of some corners in a swamp. And I think that's when was this when you had a broken foot or ankle?
I believe so.
Okay, so
that's the story I'm thinking of.
Okay, let's do this. This kid had a broken ankle?
I think it was ankle at that point.
Okay.
He was wearing a boot.
So he's wearing a boot. He'd wrap it up, get on a snowmobile, and take off riding. Like, Derek, seriously? I mean, he's just a Neanderthal a little bit here. And so anyways, we're riding this one day, and he's ahead of me. He's flying way too quick. And we go around a corner, and then I go around another one, and here he is piled into a tree with his snowmobile. And I'm like, I stop. I'm like, Derek, are you okay? Yeah, I think so. Okay. But I think my snowmobile's broke. And so then I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? He's like, well, we're going to have to get back to your house. Because, I mean, I think we were closer to my house trail-wise.
Yeah, we were about in the middle.
It was probably a horse apiece. But, you didn't want to go home.
I wanted to fix it before my dad saw it.
Yeah, you didn't want your parents to see this broken snowmobile. So he's like, we got to go back to your house. So I'm on the 570. And this thing, I mean, it was a great trail sled. It did a lot more than it probably should have. But I went to turn around, and I did not realize this was like swampy area. And I get out there, and I'm just bogging this thing. Barely get it out. Get Derek's sled away from the tree, turn around, and was it broken brake?
I broke my throttle off when I flew over my handlebars, because I flew over and fell into the snow. My thumb caught my throttle and snapped it clean off. So I had about a quarter inch of my throttle.
Yeah, that's right.
Is all I could push on. And then my ski had a dent from where I hit the tree. So, we went back to your house and attempted to pound the dent out with a sledgehammer. And we actually did an okay job. I think that ski was still on it when I crashed it the final time.
Did your parents ever know about that?
Yep, because the throttle's broke. So I still had the broken throttle. Yeah, I don't think they realized how fast I was going. I just said that I slid into a tree and...
Didn't you say that your brakes went out or something like that?
No.
There was a time you said that about something. I don't know. I mean, he was a menace when you had that broken ankle with that boot. I mean, my grandma sled with the mirrors on it. We're riding down the trail, and you fly over that driveway. You had to have had 5-6 feet of air. And all I could think of is this kid's got a boot on, and how is he going to land? And he just bottoms out that slide and keeps going. And I'm like, I don't know. You're nothing short of a feat of strength or something.
Thankful to be alive.
Thankful to be alive many times over. You're a cat. You better like wrap yourself in bubble wrap. I mean,
now you're sounding like my mom.
I think you're not quite to the 9, but you know.
Well, like I always say, good thing I'm not a cat, or I'd be out of life.
So then, yeah. So I mean, our snowmobile adventures were. I mean, remember, no cop, no stop. I mean, this might be. I mean, we're past the statute of limitations at this point. We're riding with a buddy, and me and the buddy are stopped, and we're on each side of the trail at the road at the stop sign. And you just
that's my brakes going out.
Okay,
that was actually my brakes didn't work for a minute there.
Okay. Because you just come barreling right between. Luckily, there was no car. Yeah. But I mean, you shot that gap, and then after that, I don't remember ever like everyone stopping at a stop sign. It was like if one went, it was good.
Well, we'd have the first person stop and wave everyone through, and then
that was. We made some land speed records for the area.
At least it felt like it.
And then there was a time on that one road where it was like 4 hours of getting stuck in a eighth mile stretch probably. That was bad. Got the cops called on us. We got out of there just in time as the cops showed up, which I don't think they would have said anything.
No, I mean, it was completely legal. We were ditch banging, but the person just did not like that. We were making noise out there.
Yeah. I mean, they kept driving by us. And granted, I mean, for like no joke, 4 hours we were stuck. Like, we'd get one person unstuck. Another one would get stuck. We had a buddy that lived up the road with his tractor there for a while helping us. He got his tractor stuck, and we finally just got out of there. And it started with one of us getting stuck, and we went back, and it just... I remember I got ran off the road. That's how I got stuck the first time by that car. Because that side of the road was that steep ditch. I couldn't get down in the ditch, so I was rode on the shoulder, which that maybe is not the best, but...
Yeah.
I mean... did what we had, and the trail was down this was a common place to go because the trail was down this road. Like, everyone on snowmobiles would come from that gas station and go down to the trail. But yeah, then we'd go to the bowling alley and get the appetizer platter, and that was very unhealthy for us. I mean, anything deep fried food for appetizers on that thing.
The mini taco runs.
The mini taco runs. Yeah.
We'd take snowmobiles, and we weren't of age to drink, so we'd go bar hopping and get mini tacos at every bar and see which ones had the best.
Yeah, that was fun too, honestly. I think so much of our friendship is just good times. I mean, I'd say high school, we were close, but there was points where we weren't as close. You were a menace in high school.
Yeah.
You were hard to be friends with some days. I think one of the biggest memories from high school that stands out to my mind is whenever we'd piss each other off, we'd start kicking each other's shins. And we wore steel-toe boots to school. And your mom even commented one time, "Why is your shin all bruised or something?" Didn't she? Yeah, that was bad.
And we wouldn't try and stop it. It was like bloody knuckles.
Yeah, it was going. And honestly, though, like, teachers would watch us do it. And I don't know if they were just scared to break it up or what. I mean, we weren't fighting necessarily. We were just hurting each other for doing something stupid.
We were fairly, like, well-behaved other than stuff like that. Like, it wasn't like we were real troublemakers.
I mean, nothing that we ever got caught for.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, out of high school, we were kind of close. Well, we got close to partying. We partied it up for a while.
And I mean, like what would that have been, our sophomore and junior year, we did the construction, building a house with Mr. Ganji. And
that kept us close.
Yeah, we were really close on. I still owe you a bunch of Quick Trip.
Oh, yes. So we did this construction thing with the school. And since Derek's a month older than me, so my birthday's in September, his is in August. Well, to get the job site, we had to be there before school hours, and there was no transportation provided. You had to get yourself there. Well, school obviously starts before September, or like at the beginning of September. My birthday's at the end. This kid already has his license. And Derek's like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. Okay. But there's going to be a fee. All right. Well, I worked all summer. What do I got to do? You got to buy me breakfast every morning at Quick Trip because they just built a new Quick Trip in our town. I don't know how much I spent on you for breakfast for like that month. I think it was like a month and a half because I don't think I got my license until October.
Yeah. And we had a few work days before school even started that we'd
Yep, I remember that. Because I think we did, was it concrete or was it site work?
Yeah, I think concrete. Yeah, we had the concrete ready by the time school started. So
I mean, I bet it was. I mean, it was like $20 a day, probably. I mean, I'd buy myself breakfast too. I bet it was between $25 and $30 a day for the both of us. I mean, he'd get a sandwich, a snack, something to drink, and anything else I was just on the hook to pay for. But I had no other choice. My mom was at work, and I wasn't walking my happy ass all the way over there. I mean, I lived in town. It was probably 1.5 miles from where I lived.
Yeah.
If that, I mean, town's not that long. I mean, it seems like it's a long distance, but I wasn't walking there.
I do feel bad for making you buy me all that. So
that was fun though. I mean, how I survived riding with Derek for that month and a half, I don't know. I mean, do you want me to tell him?
No.
I got to.
No, you really don't.
All right. Well, we can at least talk about the burnout, can't we?
Yeah, the S10, she'd do some pretty nice burnouts. So I'd pick him up early, so that way we could go out of town. All we had to do was drive 1.5 miles to the school, but no, I'd pick him up early so we could go outside of town and do burnouts. And then on rainy days, there's a nice curvy road that we would drift an S10 around.
Okay, well, if you're going to bring that up, we got to talk about the minivan day.
No, that's my mom's van.
Well, Mary, if you're
Mom,
listening
stop
to this,
listening. Yeah.
Derek's like, this minivan's got balls. I'm like, no way. And there's a road that runs along our municipal airport. It's not directly long, and it's not, but it's pretty much a straight shot. And of course, it's after the curvy road. Derek would drift, which we were in the minivan that day, so there's no drifting or nothing. And he just pegs it. I have it on video somewhere, and I got nervous because I actually told you to slow down because he was trying. I think you were trying to get it to 100 or 100 plus.
I was trying to figure out where it would stop accelerating, and I think it's like a pickup truck. I think vans stop at 98.
I think we were doing 90.
It just held at 98 for a while. Yeah.
So there's two 16-year-olds in a minivan on their way to this early school project, and yeah, could you imagine if something bad would have happened that day?
No.
Well, we survived.
Yeah.
And then
the minivan kept running. No harm there.
I think we don't necessarily need to bring up names about the job site at construction, but we need to talk about a little bit of how we work. We got in trouble because one kid, Derek and I like to argue about stupid stuff too. I mean, if I cut a board a 16th the wrong direction, I mean, if it's too long or 16th short, he'd freak out, call me a dumbass. I mean, everything under the sun. And you know what? It was fun. And then I'd argue back with him. I'd tell him he's measuring wrong or something. But this kid, he said, you guys are like married couple. Well, Derek took that to heart, and he teased him. And we won't go into specifics of that. Let's be honest. And he teased him so much that we got a talking to early one morning when we got there. But it was worth it.
Yeah, that was... I still feel bad for him, but...
No.
He did kind of, in ways, deserve it, because he would poke fun at us, and I was very nice to him until he poked fun at us.
Honestly, though, we were kind of like a married couple. The stupidest thing could set us off into a bickering when we did the finish trim of that house, that was a true test of our friendship. And I think the teacher was even getting to the point like, I think he was getting frustrated because, I mean, it was a lot of bad cuts and arguing and.
Yeah, I remember at one point he said that we had to stop arguing because we couldn't afford to mess up any more trim. But
It's not like we were that bad at it. It was just that we didn't
no,
always
I
get
mean,
along.
it's also hard to do square trim on a round house. Like those houses weren't quite square.
Yeah, and I didn't go to school my senior year. I did that online because of COVID.
Yeah, and I pretty much had work release. I had
Right.
English class and work release.
So I mean that we didn't
Even
hang out a whole lot.
Junior year, I think I had a lot of work release. Also.
Yeah, and then we got shut down in school early.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, and so I mean we seen each other somewhat, but it wasn't a lot. Well, I'd say our senior year, because I worked during the day and you kind of did too. So like we'd go bowling every once in a while or do something.
Yeah, and I think our senior year was when we'd start almost every night going to Hunter's house.
Yeah, because then that was it was the later part of our senior year. Yeah, because I was technically already done with school because I graduated early. I think you did too, didn't you? So
I graduated in January.
Because I lived on my own, and that was kind of when we started our party stage. That is something we'll leave out. That's for way down the line when we talk about that because
that's when the embarrassing stories about Tanner come out.
Well, and Derek, there's plenty, and some true tests to our friendship once again. I mean, there was a couple nights where there was fists about to be flown, not for any real reason, but it was just two drunk idiots that were not happy with a certain situation. Yeah, and then I don't know, when you got together with Remy, what came first? My relationship, my past relationship, or
your past relationship? Okay. I came first, and then I started dating Remy, and we'd still talk to each other, whatever. But it was.
And once you moved further away,
I moved into the apartment and was kind of gone for a few months, but then back, and then we started working together.
Yeah, when we started working together, that was fun. So, Derek and I work in the salvage industry. We work for a local scrapyard, and I've worked there since 14-ish. Can't remember. I think it was like 14 and a half, something like that. And we got to the point we needed another guy, and my boss, he wouldn't hire. He was like, I don't think we need another guy. And he was a tough sell. I mean, he's still a tough sell, and we need more help now. But we've really expanded over the last couple of years. But when we needed Derek, I'm like, we need a guy, and he's like, I don't know anyone. I'm like, and that was right when you were kind of winding down with the construction business. Yeah, and I'm like, my buddy Derek, he's a good worker. I mean, he's a little wild, but I think we can tame him a little bit. And then there you go. You got your job. And I remember at first, I mean, Derek, you are really good at the job now. And you caught on quick. But this kid and chainsaws, I don't know what it is about chainsaws. And in the scrap business, you get a lot of chainsaws. So we'd be busier than hell, and he'd be over there trying to pull start every damn chainsaw that came in. And it was like, Derek, we got work to do. And he'd be, I mean,
it's a good chainsaw.
Yeah, but come on, man.
It's only steel and Husqvarna.
How many chainsaws did you get? Have you got?
I think around a dozen.
Man. I think the time that got me the most about the chainsaw is there's a gravity wagon or something that's taller than Derek out of his line of sight. And I swear he smelt the chainsaw inside of it. There's a million other things that we have to separate out. I mean, at the scrapyard, we're sorting aluminum, different types of metals, and this kid comes out with a chainsaw. How?
I saw the steel orange.
It was above your head.
I don't know. I swear I saw it.
Sniffed her out.
Probably smelled it.
I swear you smelled it. Yeah, that was interesting. Well, you got pretty good. Yeah, we've made a lot of funny memories at work. I mean, there is so much we can talk about just at work experiences.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Then you broke your neck.
Yeah, I was out for what? Well,
3 months, three
three
and a half.
months. I think it was like 2 months before I started coming back, but I think 3 months was when I got my neck brace off,
Okay.
and the doctor and Alec both told me like, go ahead, do whatever you can do. And
Yeah, because you started doing office work kind of at first, didn't you? Like,
yeah, I was doing titles, filling out the paperwork for titles and stuff for cars, and
man,
doing that. And then I think it was the one day I went back to just because if we were slow, I'd go back by you guys and just BS whatever. And then we started to get busy when I was back there, and so I crawled myself up in a skid steer, could hardly move. I mean, I don't know. I think I was still using a cane at that point.
I remember I was
And
worried that you were gonna like tweak your back bouncing around
yeah,
or something. And that was a concern for quite a while when you came back.
yeah.
But you were determined.
I mean, at that point, I didn't need the neck brace. It was solid, but yeah, it was still. You never know.
Yeah. And I mean, like that, I think it was more nerve wracking when he came back to work than it was the whole experience of going through the broken neck at the hospital and like worrying about your friend. You know, I mean, you were paralyzed for a while. I mean, almost fully, weren't you?
Yeah, I could move my right hand minimally, but yeah,
Right.
pretty much no feeling, no no movement besides my right hand a little bit. I couldn't even feed myself with my right hand at first, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you,
And that will be a whole nother episode of
oh, yeah.
all the funny stories, embarrassing things,
Oh,
and
there's so much there.
stuff I like making jokes to the doctors and nurses and try and keep the spirits high while I was in the hospital. So that will be a full episode.
One thing I have to mention, I think if it wasn't for your high spirits, you wouldn't be in the condition you are today. I mean,
Yeah. High spirits, and also I think like you guys at work and like Alec just, keeping me like, hey, you're gonna have a job no matter the
right,
outcome and whatever. I mean, it gave me something to look forward to
right.
outside, knowing that no matter what I was gonna have a future besides sitting at home and
Yeah,
doing nothing. So
it worked out, and I'm glad everything. Glad you are where you are today.
uh,
And then I don't know, we now and after that you tamed down a lot, and I'd say we got even closer, kind of again after you broke your neck.
yeah, I mean, starting work, I tamed down a lot, and
Yeah,
we got a lot closer. I joined the fire department and
yeah,
stuff.
that
And I
was
was going to do just fire, but then after I broke my neck, now I did EMR and going to do fire classes.
yeah, that was one inspiration thing when you broke your neck. Is I remember the first day. So I'm also on the fire department with him, and I was one of the first responders there the day Derek broke his neck. He broke it in our fire district, and so that was kind of tough. I mean, you're the first person I'd ever been to that I actually knew, and I think some of this be saved for when we talk about this in a whole episode. But um, I remember the first time I went to see you at the hospital the next day. You were like, "I'm running a marathon when I get out of here." And I'm going to get into the EMS world because I seen what it did for me, and I want to give back. And that's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, that I don't want to say it was good for you, but I mean it. I think you've matured a lot from this.
Yeah. If I could have got the maturing from it, but not the forever physical
Right. Yeah. That
effect.
would. That would.
But I guess it is what it is.
You're handy capable.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. So then, now present day, we've continued to do. We went to Florida. Oh, was that a year ago? A little over a year ago.
Or I guess, yeah, the winter before this passed, and then
We went to South Dakota. That was fun.
Yeah.
We're in South Dakota fishing. We rented a random shack from a guy. And, well, not a random shack. He was a company. But it's not quite what we fully expected. It wasn't bad. I won't knock it. But we brought our women with. And I'm not knocking them. They were champs. I mean, they powered through it. But it was not like we were told we were getting a new shack. That was not a new shack
Yeah,
by
we
any
spent
means.
extra $50 a night because we're getting the new shack, so they're expecting a nice fancy
Right.
shack.
I won't lie. I was kind of expecting it too. And we get there, and it's an older shack. It's not super nice. Not the greatest sleeping conditions. And no bathroom, which I thought there was going to be a bathroom because it did say on the website, like, most of them had a bathroom, which I think some of them actually had a true bathroom, and then some of them were what we had, which was just a pail and a garbage bag.
Yeah.
And obviously the girls didn't like going to the bathroom in it, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it either because it was pretty freaking nasty. You'd imagine we were drinking, so two guys shitting in a bucket. Derek used it, but by I think like the third day, you were more than willing to go to the landing and use the public
Yeah,
restroom.
I was getting over it. Well, the first night, I apologize to the ladies for saying this, but the first night the ladies were drinking also, and they kept peeing in the same bag in the bucket. We don't have to change it; it's just pee. Well, we went to bed, never changed it. Middle of the night, I have to go in there and do some paperwork. I get done. I have to carry about 3 gallons of liquid sludge out the door that later froze on the ice.
It
Yeah.
didn't fully. Well, it kind of froze.
It froze on the ice enough that it made a mess when I tried picking it up, and then we had to clean that mess up.
It took a little longer to freeze than I expected, and then we didn't know where to get rid of it. Like, we ended up asking, and apparently this garbage dumpster at the landing you could throw our shit in. But I wouldn't have thought that was okay, but they gave us the okay for it, and that's where everyone did it. But that was a fun trip. I mean, I got a little too intoxicated to keep fishing at night. So I'd wake up to Derek throwing a fish on the floor in the shack, and then he'd fillet it, and that was fun.
That was good. I'd definitely do it again. I don't know if we can convince the women to go with. We might have to just do a guy's trip, but
I mean, they're definitely listening to this, so we should probably not talk about it. I think I'm looking forward. I want to go to Florida again.
That will be fun. Huh? Well, we agreed. We're going south somewhere this winter.
Yeah.
So.
Florida. I mean, I don't necessarily have to go to Florida, but I want to go somewhere south, sit on a beach again. That was fun. I mean, relaxing.
That was.
I think we're going to fly this year. Yeah. So I'll give you guys a little something that's a little embarrassing about myself. I am terrified to death of airplanes. So my past relationship that I was in, that was who I initially was going to go to Florida with. And we had the plane tickets booked, paid expensive tickets for Delta. And I asked Derek, I'm like, Derek, if we drive, would you want to leave like tomorrow and go to Florida with us? He's like, oh, maybe, he's just doing his thing. And I asked her, I'm like, would you be okay with that if we drove? Yeah, sure, but what about the plane tickets? I'm like, I don't want to fly. I'll just whatever. So I ate $800 in plane tickets because I did not want to fly. And I am truthful. Planes scare me to death. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to hopefully get over that this year because I need to fly. It just has to happen.
It'll be fine.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that you're more likely to get in a car accident than a plane crash, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, but plane crash was hurt a little more.
And especially when that happened, it was right around like all those planes were crashing. I'm like, see, this is why you don't fly. Everyone's like, oh, you're just being dramatic. No, like you don't fly because of this. But I don't know. I need to fly. I want to go on a cruise at some point too in my life. I'm just gonna have to get over the flying thing. And I really want to go to Bora Bora, and that's like 2 or 3 airplanes you have to use to get there. And one of them's like a little puddle jumper thing that you're flying across an ocean with, so I'm going to really have to get over it. But I have to be rich to be able to do that.
Yeah. So hopefully we get enough views and subscriptions and everything.
Yeah. So that way we can sip pina coladas on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about this podcast, Eric. What are we thinking? I think we're going to do one a week, right? Something like that.
I think, we'll try and do one a week. We'll try and probably keep it around that 45 minutes to an hour. Fluctuate. I mean, we're not going to have a set time, but
right. I think like this episode, maybe a little bit lesser time because it's our first one. We're getting used to it. I mean, now that we've been talking for 45 minutes here this far, I feel like we're getting more confident with it. But like this topic, I mean, this is kind of a basic introductory to us, our friendship.
Yeah,
and about the podcast a little bit. So, I mean, there might be some where we go 2 hours or, I mean, I'm sure there's topics if we dug deep into it and we really got talking, it could go. I mean,
lots of the stories we said tonight also were just, a quick gist in time periods and.
Right. I mean, there's more to it. And then at some point we want to bring on some guests that we work with, know from the area, some people that we think could add to it. We're going to get our women on at some point. That's going to be a fun one. I don't know if we're going to do them both at the same time or separately, but that one could be fun.
That's when a lot of embarrassing stuff will probably come out.
Yeah, probably. One thing to expect with our podcast is we're going to be fairly unfiltered with what we say. We're not going to try to do a lot of editing with our podcast. Him and I are really good at BSing with each other. This episode, maybe doesn't seem like that. But as we get a little more comfortable with this, I mean, he brought his laptop over and he barely knew how to turn it on. So, I mean, once he gets more comfortable with this setup, it'll be good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not every day we've talked with mics in front of us and computers on the table, right. So it's a little
and at some point, we're probably going to add video. If I don't want to take a picture of the setup because it's an old dining room table. I got a monitor facing him so he can see what's going on. I got the laptop facing me. We got mics in front of each other, and we're just sitting here like we're having kitchen dinner, And yeah, it's janky looking, but as we get going, if we get traction with this, and I'm not necessarily expecting to make a lot of money out of the gate. We may never make money, but if we get going and it's something that we want to keep doing, obviously we'll invest a little bit more into our setup and expand on our capabilities, make a better background so we can have something to record, maybe like an actual desk, a computer that works smoothly. And not that your computer is actually great.
Yeah, it worked actually.
My computer
didn't load that long. I'm
going to recommend this. If anyone wants to start a podcast, do not buy the cheapest laptop you can find on Amazon because that thing is slow. And it's a nice looking computer. It looks nice, but Derek's computer is way faster. But yeah, and so I mean, it says unfiltered in our our cover photo, and I kind of want to keep it that way. I mean, there's topics that are going to be embarrassing. They're going to be, I don't know what to all say about some of our topics we got coming, but
unfiltered, I don't know. We talked about not doing super educational, more of a keep people entertained, funny stories and stuff. We might get a little educational on some.
There might be some educational because Derek loves to pull out his phone and correct me. So once he gets comfortable enough to do that, like if there's a topic, he's gonna make sure he's right. And he's like Albert Einstein over here. The smoke starts rolling out of his ears, and there we go. But yeah, so I think we're gonna shoot for. This is while we're recording this, so I don't know exactly the upload day, but Thursday or Friday, probably fairly early in the morning, 6 or 7, 8 Central, Eastern time probably.
Probably,
yeah. 6, 7 Central. That's just depending. We got a lot to learn yet here tonight after this recording. We got to figure out how to edit this. Not that we're gonna edit it a lot, but we just gotta fine polish it and figure out how to upload it. That's the next task. So once we get through that, once we pick a day to upload, we will be consistent, or at least try to be consistent, and then see where it takes us. Maybe someday we'll maybe do 2 episodes a week, and there's ideas out there. We could do an episode where it's just me and you conversing, and then there's an episode a week where we have a guest on or something. You never know where this could take us. You got anything else to add, Derek?
No, I think that's about it.
Well, it's been fun. It's been real. We'll see you next time.